Once upon a time in a magical land, deep within the enchanting Everglow forest, there lived a fairy named Serena. Unlike her fairy friends, who loved to dance among the flowers or play hide and seek among the trees, Serena had a different dream. She wanted to open a cozy little cafe where fairies, elves, and all the magical creatures of the forest could gather, sip delicious drinks, and share stories under the shade of the whispering trees. Now this may sound like a simple dream, but in the Everglow forest, nothing was simple. You see, the fairies had their own traditions, and they believed that serving food and drinks was the job of the gnomes and elves. They did not want a fairy to become a cook, but Serena's heart was set on her dream. So she chose a large oak tree with thick leafy branches and a hollow trunk. With some moss and twigs, she built a small cafe just big enough for a few tables and chairs. She decorated it with glowing firefly lanterns and mushroom stools. Outside, she planted pots of fragrant honeysuckle and set out wooden tables and chairs made from acorns and pine cones. Her little cafe looked so charming that even the grumpy old tree spirits couldn't help but smile at the sight. But running a cafe was harder than Serena had imagined. She spent her days collecting berries and flowers for jams and jellies, and brewing special teas from fragrant herbs and blossoms. Yet she faced many challenges, sometimes when she would be gathering flower petals. Another fairy named Lyra would come by and snatch them away. "What do you think you are doing, Serena?" she would ask with a mocking laugh. "A fairy like you should be dancing in the moonlight, not making snacks for the gnomes and elves." Lyra loved to make fun of Serena and her dream, for she enjoyed being the center of attention and wanted to be the most beautiful and celebrated fairy in the forest. Despite all the teasing, Serena continued to work hard. She refused to give up on her dream. Finally, her cafe was ready, and she placed a sign outside, "Serena's Starlight Cafe, where every creature is welcome." On the opening day, the cafe was empty. All the fairies flew past it, gossiping and giggling, while the gnomes and elves preferred to stay in their homes. Disappointed but determined, Serena decided to wait for the next day. As the sun set, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, a shooting star streaked across the heavens. Serena closed her eyes and whispered a wish, hoping for just one customer the next day. The next morning, she opened the cafe to find a note left by an unknown creature. Then suddenly, a brown rabbit hopped in, looking for shelter from the rain. Serena offered him some dried berries and a cup of hot tea, which the rabbit happily accepted. Just then, a family of field mice scurried in, seeking refuge from the downpour. Serena welcomed them too. News of the kind fairy and her cozy cafe spread like wildfire through the forest. First came the squirrels, then the hedgehogs, followed by deer and foxes. Each animal found solace in Serena's cafe, sipping her special mushroom hot chocolate and munching on acorn cookies. Even the grumpy old tree spirit could not resist the aroma of cinnamon sticks and star anise wafting from the cafe. He shuffled in and surprised everyone, including himself, by asking for a cup of tea. As the rain continued to pour, more and more creatures arrived, filling the cafe with chatter and laughter. That day, Serena realized that true friendship and kindness were the sweetest rewards of all. Meanwhile, Lyra, who had been watching from afar, couldn't believe her eyes. All the forest animals, including her own pet squirrel, were inside Serena's cafe, enjoying themselves. Shame filled her as she realized how wrong she had been about fairies and their dreams. With a heavy heart, she approached Serena, apologizing for her unkind words and asking for forgiveness. Serena, ever the kind fairy, readily forgave her, and Lyra became a regular at the Starlight Cafe, sipping hot cocoa and helping out whenever needed. From then on, the cafe became a symbol of unity and friendship in the Everglow forest. Every day, fairies, elves, animals, and even tree spirits gathered in Serena's cozy cafe, proving that kindness and friendship can indeed bloom even in the most magical of places.